everyone, and welcome back to Jesse Hecht Creative. Today we're going over every single Ant-Man related figure that I have from Marvel Legends and Marvel Universe. Before we begin, make sure to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. Now let's get to it. Let's start off with classic Ant-Man. I love the silver applied to the helmet. It's really nicely done. The head sculpt is pretty good too inside. The mouth is at a little downturn. The eyes are nice and brown and really good. There's a lot of good detailing on the helmet itself with a lot of sort of silver molding lines that are pretty cool and strange imperfections that make it look a little more handmade. This looks pretty nice. I do like the look of the torso. It's a pretty good little circle symbol with this little thing down here. Looks like a bed, I think. The mold is the Pizza Spider-Man body mold, and I love these colors on it. It's really nicely done. I wish Spider-Man would have these kind of colors. It would give him a little more vibrancy. Luckily, we got that recent 3-pack, which gives us a good Spidey. But I do like this body mold for this guy. And seeing as we're getting a new one coming off soon, I'm really glad about it. I already did the articulation for Spider-Man in a different video. You can watch that later on. But it's pretty much the same and very well done for this guy. As far as accessories goes, he's the only one of these figures that comes with them. He has a small version of the Wasp, which is nice because it gives you incentive to get both of them. She looks really good. I like the sculpting on here. The wings are well done. I wish they were like the double wing effect that the figure has, but I'll take what I can get. It looks really nice, even though there isn't any face on here. That's kind of creepy. Now let's check out Classic Wasp. Classic Wasp is really well done. I love the head sculpt a lot. This is really nice. This was a figure that was released years ago and never got a repaint until now, going for a lot in the aftermarket. This body coloring and everything, the arrows and all the blue and the white, we never saw that until somewhat recently. It also has a W up here, kind of cheeky for the Wasp. Very nice body mold, body sculpt. We've seen this before, I believe, so I'm not really going to go over articulation, but from what you can see, single joint elbows, double joint knees, same stuff. It's pretty much fine, I would guess. The wings are pretty new-ish, but we just saw them on Human Fly, so yeah, same thing. I do think they look great though, and they do peg in like so. Just gonna keep that peg in there and come out and in. Very nicely done. They could fold up well and look super cool. The head sculpt is the best part, then the wings, then the coloration. I think this is a very fine figure and super well done. She does come with a small version of the classic Ant-Man, so that gives more synergy to getting both figures, which I don't mind. They're kind of a pair, but it's pretty cool to see him in this version. He looks nice. It looks like an H, I think, probably for Hank, now that I really see it, instead of looking like a bed. This is really weird, though, and these little things are just so awkwardly big. It's strange. The back is just fine. It's missing that stripe from him, though, which kind of sucks, but it's pretty okay as far as a tiny Ant-Man is concerned for your Marvel Legends collection. Up next is Black Ant. The paint is different on Black Ant, and it looks much better. I do love this head sculpt. It's very nicely done. We have some really good paint on here as well. Some good old-fashioned red going to white and then all the way back and around. It's almost like an orangey glowing red. It's intimidating and kind of creepy in a way. We also get a Y formation going on the back and the front. It's pretty neat. And a different belt coloring instead of, silver and then black. We have black and then silver, which is pretty cool. Some jagged edges for the arms, jagged edges for the legs. And it's basically the same body mold but different coloration, but way more intimidating of a character. I really like how this character is done, and it's super cool. This is great. Go Eric O'Grady. Classic Ant-Man and Black Ants, and just above 6 inches tall or so for both of them. Wasp stands at a little bit under 6 inches tall, maybe 5 3/4 or so. They all look really nice together. The classic Ant-Man that's really tiny stands at about 1 inch tall or so, and the classic Wasp stands at about 1 1/4 inches tall, next to Jesse Hecht Creative. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for watching so far. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. You can also click the bell icon for more creativity. Now let's get back to it. And here we have Giant Man. Giant Man looks pretty okay. The head sculpt is the most interesting part. These antennae probably should be more uniform, but whatever, I guess. The eyes are pretty okay. The face is alright. 3 different bars on each side. It's very plain. I do kind of like the deco. It's alright, red and black, and this little symbol over here. These 2 circles are pretty interesting. Reminds me of the infinite symbol in a way. The back is pretty much the same as the front over here. We have some nice lining going down the body. It doesn't really match all the way, sadly, but that's okay, I guess, for this kind of figure. It's very plain, the bucket cap mold we've seen before. It has those hallmarks that we saw on Eric O'Grady Ant-Man, those little sharp points right over here, which is pretty alright. It does look good, but not absolutely great. No accessories, and the articulation's the same. We've seen it before on the Human Fly figure, so I'm not even going to bother. This is just okay. Now let's take a look at Giant Man in 12-inch scale. I'm very impressed with how this figure is done. I think it's a remold of a different figure, though. So there is an X underneath the belt, which leads me to believe it's probably Cyclops or something like that. But this is a really nicely done figure. I really love how the engineering is on this thing. It's really super cool. Same paint apps and everything as the previous figure, but just different articulation and stuff like that. It's really cool and super neat. The head is on a ball, it goes around and then up and down. Gets in a little bit of pivot if you want. The arm goes out this far, in, all the way around on a really ratchety joint. You get a swivel right over here. Double jointed elbow right over there going this far. And back you get a swivel. And then down, and then up with the hand. And on the other side, you get a fist, you get up and then down with swivel as well. You get a crunch back, a crunch forward. You get a swivel at the waist, not really that much. The belt kind of hinders it a little bit. You get a ball-jointed hips over here that's split pretty far, really nicely. You can also go around if you twist that, and then goes up this far, down this far, moving this up a little bit for range, going back this far. Works out pretty nice. In, and then putting it back to reset it. You get a swivel over here. Double jointed knees. Going up this far pretty nicely over here and down. We do get a swivel at the boot and a down and a up, but sadly no pivot, which would have been great, and two peg holes at the bottom of his huge big old feet. This figure is nuts and looks really cool. I love how well it's done. Yes, there is probably some flanging that just happened right over here, which is a shame. And also some missing paint here, you know, and on the head, showing from the actual Ant-Man figure. I wish that paint was there. That would make it like a 10. But I think this is probably like an 8, maybe like even a 7 or so. But this is a wonderfully done figure, and it's really beautiful. I'm very happy with this guy and how he turned out. Here's the more modern version of Wasp. Modern Wasp has a pretty okay head. I do think the other one was better, but I do like the accents and effects on it. The wash is pretty nicely done on the head over here. We also have some good eye coloring and lipstick coloring. Very nice. The gold is pretty standoutish on here, as is on the hands. We also have some gold on the feet, a nice little touch going around the feet. And we have these nice yellow wings that unfurl and unfurl very nicely and look really cool. They're pretty well done, and I'm very happy with them. I do wish this is a little bit more vibrant, though. Some more gold would be great. I always go back to the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes cartoon version of the Wasp as my modern Wasp, and wish they would adapt from that and make Wasp just look that much better. Let's check out Goliath. I got Goliath secondhand, so there are a lot of scuffs and markings on the figure that don't make it look that great, but I kind of think it gives a little war-torn feel. Like, this guy's been through a lot and seen a lot. There are those spikes again as far as the paint goes. Some nice striping going up all the way to the belt that looks pretty new. Not sure if it's reused from Magneto or something, it looks like. I like the stripe on the side, the Y, going up and then all the way around and down to the spikes over here. Looks pretty nice. He comes with a hand, and he comes with a holding hand, a fist over here. Pretty good. We have a little hole in the back for stands and whatnot. The little sort of Y formation looks pretty nice, going up to another sort of like actually a V going up to the head and down to these gold glasses. Look pretty nice. It has pretty good paint. I just wish it was applied better on this version, and it wasn't, you know, a hand-me-down figure from somebody else I had to get offline. This is pretty good, and I'd like a big version. That'd be neat. All three of these figures stand at just under 6 inches tall or so. They look good together next to Jesse Hecht Creative. We've been floating on this makeshift Giant Man raft for hours. I'm so hungry. Once he starts sinking, I'm eating him. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for watching so far. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. You can also click the bell icon for more creativity. Now let's get back to it. And now for Scott Lang Ant-Man. I love the head sculpt in this figure. It's very well done. The helmet is really silvery and chromy, sort of a darker color. Anyways, these little things are really cute, very small and stunted. These things on the sides are great. The eyes are really good. It's more high technical than the rest, I think. I love the color scheme too. It's more black and red than red and black. Very nicely done. Somewhat even, you know, with the main body being red, this area in the center, and then it comes out to being mostly black around the edges. A little bit of red down here, silver knee pads and belt, very nicely done. The chunky blockiness of it is very awesome. The sculpt we've seen before, some very nice butterfly joints on here. I really like how this figure is made and done. I also love this sort of collar piece. It's really awesome. Great piece here, beautiful looking, and it's just great. Next, let's check out Stinger. Huge fan of the head sculpt in this figure. I love the pincers that really make her look like an ant. The eyes are also very ant-like as well, and these little prongs are wonderful, the antenna. It's a little bit lighter color and looks very good. There's a strange molding mark back here. Gives a little cracked feeling, which is pretty interesting. You know, she's younger, less experienced. This is the female body we've seen many times before. The younger female body, at least, I believe. But it is well done. I do like this yellow on here and also on here. It kind of takes away from the magenta in a way and adds a little bit of pop, a little bit of color to that. Very nice. The silver is really good. I wish it kind of was a shoulder pad over here instead of this joint piece coming down. We also have some nice magentas that don't really match though. You know, it's a nice color. I just wish it matched better with the plastic colors. It's kind of weird how this paint doesn't match this. It's kind of frustrating. We have a nice emblem here though. It looks pretty cool with the circle. Reminds me of a Hecht on the back. It's kind of planned and plain. The legs don't really connect all that well too. It's kind of a shame. The wings are nice, but there's only one wing piece per wing instead of two like the others. Interesting. But it does look really cool, kind of like an icy blue going out to clear. Very well done. We've seen this body mold before, so no articulation, and there's no accessories either, as is with Scott. That's a shame. I would have liked some unmasked heads, but it's still pretty good and looks nice for Stinger. The head is still awesome. It's great. And last but not least, Yellowjacket. I got this figure on the cheap years ago, and I think it kind of degraded a little bit. There is some paint missing on the chin, a chip over there, and some kind of weird splotch over here. Other than that, it's pretty solid, though. A nice looking figure. This little paint off the chin doesn't really, you know, jive well with me. I don't like it a lot. The head looks fine. It can swivel. It goes up and down. It's a very old figure with a lot of older joints on it, so just bear with me here how it works. Butterfly joint moves, goes up and down all the way around, swivel. You got double joint elbows going up this far, down. We get a wrist hinge and a really weird hinge over here. The swivel is fine. And on the other side, it works pretty okay, I guess. This is his slapping hand. But yeah, it's just alright. This mold goes back, forward, swivel. We do get weird ball joint hips once again. That kind of function, I guess. They're just alright. They go in and out and around. You can swivel and then double jointed knee right up here. We also get a swivel over here, down and then up really nicely. Down all the way, some good pivot, and then a toe hinge, and then no peg holes, but we do get some nice boots, which are pretty fine. It's a strange figure and a really weird one to end on. I do like the emblem. The mustard yellow color is nice. He looks good. I just wish this was on a newer body and we had this figure as a newer character. I know his actions are kind of deplorable, but having a deplorable character kind of fits a villain sort of wave, maybe. Maybe in the future you could put him in a villain wave or something, because he was used as a villain in the Ant-Man movies, and yeah, he's an alright figure and kind of weird. I'll leave you to that. Scott Lang Ant-Man stands at just under 6 inches tall. Stinger stands at about 5¼ inches tall or so, and Yellowjacket stands at just under 6 inches tall, maybe 5¾ inches tall or so. They look pretty okay together. Yellowjacket is the odd one out of the bunch, but Stinger and Scott Lang look fantastic. And also here's Jesse Hecht Creative. Why are you guys so confused about this? It's just my Yellowjacket jacket. I'm not weird, you are. Overall, what an interesting ant family, chronicling the history of Ant-Man and his followers and successors. I do find that all these figures have their merits, yet as of now, this time in this year, these figures are pretty outdated. I wouldn't mind some newer bucks, newer figures, and newer things going on with the ant family as a whole. We desperately need redos of a lot of these, and yet I find that some of these are still pretty good nowadays, especially the newer figures, but a lot of these need redos. Even though I do appreciate them for their time, I still think Giant Man, the large figure 12-inch scale, is well worth it and really cool, but the rest do need a lot of updates and more modern bodies and bucks. I recommend picking up Giant Man and maybe the classic Ant-Man and the Wasp in the blue and red and the blue and white respectively, maybe even the Scott Lang and Stinger Ant-Man figures, but the rest I would wait for a redo just in case they make better ones. But if you do like all these figures, you can get yourself an entire ant family if you'd like to put in your ant farm. Thank you so much for watching Jesse Hecht Creative. Feel free to click like, subscribe, share, or leave a comment. You can also visit us at jessehechtcreative.com, where you'll find more reviews like this one. Thanks again for watching and keep being creative. Stay tuned!